Terrier drafted into the NSWL. She was set to be a junior this year, but ended up going for the set to be a senior, but decided to go to the NSWL instead. She was the two-time.
As we are just about ready to get going, as you might guess, Boston University in that signature red, Holy Cross in the home white. It'll be Anne-Marie Jaworski to kick things off, and we are underway.
More than a year. Well, I'm sure you practiced and scrimmaged against yourself, but against live competition, you're out there playing 90, 80 plus minutes, whatever it might be.
Graduate of UMass Amherst has to be happy with the way her team has played early, as Ashley Rayfield brings this one in for the Terriers. Crosses one over the head of her teammate heading into the box there. First real danger out there as well. There are currently 3 Major League pitchers who attended Harvard Westlake at the same time. Lucas Giolito, Max Fried, and Jack Flair. Not only 3 pitchers, but 3 all-star caliber pitchers. Players go down in the middle of the field. It was McKenna Kennedy who was able to take that one away and win possession back to Lily Matthews for BU.
Yeah, that's no surprise there. McKenna Kennedy, preseason Major League Midfielder of the Year, member of the All-Patriot League team as well.
Ferreira flips this, but either way.
Although I, for the most part, outgrown my gaming days.
Another ball comes in for Pereira.
To the collegiate games, so you have Pereira, you have Rayfield, who's a junior, Sophia Woodland, who had a couple points last season, is just a freshman, and you have Anne-Marie Jaworski, who's a senior, but hasn't played much.
Very off her line and able to grab it before Lily Matthews can come in. Total last week against Lafayette, which earned her Patriot League goalkeeper of the week.
Yeah, it's a great analogy, and every now and then, dangerous there. You get a whistle.
Down in the box, and might get a yellow card coming. Lily Matthews was the one who was taken down, and we'll get our first booking of the afternoon. Picks up the yellow. BU has had a number of opportunities here in the opening half of play. This might be the best off a set piece coming. For Holy Cross was the first over the Terriers since 1995. There's another chance, streaking in, a shot, Letary, an initial save, but it's put in by Pereira. And a 1-0. There have been appeals over the last few years to the NCAA for either a spring schedule that does count, getting rid of the fall schedule, or making it a 2-semester sport, as we said. So the defensive threat for Holy Cross came off the bench last week, and she can provide a spark today, obviously, in the starting lineup. So that was a change for Kyle Back, and he'll look for a spark from one of his bench players this afternoon. McKenna Kennedy, who Anthony just mentioned, preseason Patriot League midfielder of the year, 26 in red. One of the seniors on this team. Holy Cross, a very young roster. As this one comes floating in towards them, we take the break and reset things at halftime.
It was a nice little layoff there with Gardner, but just a bad pass going forward after that.
Lumsack.
I mean, Justin, look what we're seeing here with Boston University. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Just pressing forward, keeping the opponent out of their offensive end by continuing to put pressure on them on your offensive end. And Holy Cross right now is just forced to bunker down, and like we saw earlier, it just seemed to get to a point where Boston University was bound to put one in. The law of averages was going to even out with all the chances they had.
Under 7 to go, cross towards the back post. McNulty couldn't quite get there.
Just over the head, I believe it was Alexis Riley who was threatening in the box at one point for a header, and it just sailed over her head a little bit. So when they had the op, take those touches, not be so hesitant and so quick to just kick the ball forward or out of play or whatever it might be. Try to connect a little bit more through the midfield and move the ball up the flanks.
We're underway in the second half, and Anthony, I'll let you play prognostic.
5-minute mark, somewhere around there. Continue to maybe pack it in and clear it. Deny BU some chances, give them some chances. It impacts things, not as windy today as it could be at Holy Cross, but maybe knocking that down a little bit into the middle, and Holy Cross just didn't have a lot of bodies forward. It just seems like the Crusaders are a little bit too robotic. Like, this is how things should be done and not adapting to game situations. Usually a pass goes to the corner and you immediately cross it. Under most circumstances, yes, but when you only have one body in the middle. And
Crusaders team, Anthony, is quite used to being in a game that's tightly.
yeah, and those 5 ties and the points overall in the season were the most in program history, ultimately losing to Army in the Patriot League semifinals, but a great season back in 2019.
Here comes Collins into the center, a left foot shot, but
Touch and ends up in, a dirty goal, but a goal is a goal when you're down 1-0.
we don't want to harp on this or over-exaggerate the point, but we're 6 minutes into the second half, and I'd venture to say that we've already seen the ball on the attacking side of the field for Holy Cross. More as Riley had that one hit off the back of Barnes and taken back by BU's Alyssa Bourgeois. Takedown in the middle of the field. It's been a very clean game. We haven't seen a lot of whistles or stoppages thus far. Just one yellow card that went against Allie Rayner early in the first half. We'll have a free kick coming for Anne-Marie Jaworski with the clock ticking down to 30 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, for better or worse, it's been a relatively clean game. I think we agree, Justin, that there could have been some calls earlier that should have been fouls. I remember one play, Carew for Holy Cross was taken down on the right flank, and it seemed pretty blatant, a takedown from behind, but the whistle stayed in the pocket. So I think there could have been a few more today, but nice to have a clean game.
Jaworski crosses it in towards the back post. Dangerous chance. It's centered in. Oldham tries to play it. Fuller to Bourgeois. Back to Matthews, and Holy Cross able to take her off a foot. Still alive momentarily for the Crusaders. Heavy touch from Rayner again. It goes towards the sideline. Cleared back towards midfield where Alexis Riley stops it. Freshman from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. One of the young players that sees quite a bit of time for this Holy Cross team, at least in the early going. Turn into the center of the field. Blumsack had it poked away from her, and BU will come back towards the attacking half of the field with Jenna Oldham, freshman from Lithtown, the now 1-1 Holy Cross Crusaders.
Yeah, the start was the difference in today's game. Holy Cross just too flat-footed to start, and they weren't connecting well, and BU took advantage of that, really kept their foot on the gas, stayed on the front foot, and eventually found the back of the net, and it just seemed like it was some time coming.